All right. So when we decided to do this podcast, we were so preoccupied with whether or not we could, we didn't stop to think if we should. So today is the first episode of the Movie Pick podcast, and we're starting out with not a single, not a double, not a triple, not a home run. We're starting out with a grand slam. We're starting out with Jurassic Park. I've got Tia here with me. Tia, say hello.
Hello.
And the day this came out, my name's Dave, by the way. Thank you for listening. This came out June 11th, 1993. I was getting ahead of myself. I was thinking of my birthday. My birthday is June 9th, 1983, if anybody wants to buy me anything. But this movie came out June 11th, 1993. This is the same year that the Blue Jays beat the Phillies in the World Series. And it's the same year that Michael Jordan and the Bulls finished their first of third three-peats. So they did 2 3-peats in the 90s. Yeah, they won 3 in a row, 2 different times. This was the first time they won the third one.
And this is also the year that I turned 6.
There you go. There you go. So what are your first memories of the movie, Tia?
Oh, goodness. First memories, now when you watch them and how far we've come technology-wise and CGI and everything like that, it's so much more than what was even, an opportunity back then. So, but then it terrified me. Then, all the dinosaurs and everything. Now you look back and it's not near as scary as, what you remember it as. But I remember always liking Ellie and her cool shorts.
Sure. Some of my first memories, I remember being at my grandmother's house and my cousin talking to me about the movie and talking about how he had seen it in theaters and saw it on the front row and said that you had to see it that way. It's amazing, especially the most famous scene in the movie is the T-Rex scene, when he attacks their cars.
I would think on the front row at a theater and how loud that is, that would make a little kid pee their pants.
Well, it's also when we were young, because he would have been around 11 or 12, something like that. But I never saw this one in the theaters. Even though I wanted to see it in theaters, never saw this one in theaters. The first of the Jurassic Park movies that I ever saw in theaters was the third one, which was, honestly the worst of that first trilogy.
Is that the Vince Vaughn one?
No, the Vince Vaughn's the second one. The third one was the one that had William H. Macy in it, and they brought back Alan Grant. It also had Tia Leone.
Okay.
And I enjoyed that one, but it was the worst of the original 3. That's all of his opinion. It was my least favorite of the original 3. But I've seen every one of them since that one in theaters, like including the 7th one that we just went to see not too long ago. So I've seen all of them in theaters since then because I love the Jurassic Park franchise. So one of the first questions, like right off the top, would you, let's say this movie does not exist and there's a dinosaur park that's created.
I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going.
Okay. I would too when it first came out.
Even after the movie, I'd still go.
No. So I think the people that would go to it in this movie are completely normal. I think the people that would go to it in Jurassic World, after they've had 3 movies worth of dinosaurs killing people, I think those people are crazy.
No, I would have thought, they got it figured out by now.
That's what everybody would say, but I think if this didn't have the history,
I would have died by a pterodactyl in case you're curious.
I didn't know this. So the Jurassic World, now this is skipping different movies, which I don't like to do, but if you remember in Jurassic World, the lady that was watching the 2 kids, she gets scooped up by the pterodactyl and then
dropped in the water.
Yes. So she asked for that death. She asked for that type of death.
I want a cool death. I'm just going to go down.
Exactly. That's what she wanted. And so just in case you don't know, that's the kind of stuff you can expect from this podcast is just randomly jumping from movie to movie. But so the top 5, let's go back to 93 for a second. So the top 5 in 93. And this is a great list of movies. I would watch any of these movies right now. Number 5 was Mrs. Doubtfire.
Good one.
Great one. Number 4 was Sleepless in Seattle.
Okay.
I love Sleepless in Seattle. It's actually not my favorite of the 3 Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan movies.
They haven't done any of those movies together in a long time. Maybe they should.
I haven't seen her in much of anything over the last few years. But it's my second favorite of those. I mean, there was Joe versus the Volcano, there was Sleepless in Seattle, and then there was You've Got Mail. Which You've Got Mail is actually my favorite of their pairings. Yeah. Number 3 was The Firm, which was the Fugitive, or not The Fugitive. Number 3 was The Firm, which was the Tom Cruise law movie. Like, it was a great movie.
I've never seen it.
It's a good one. It's Tom Cruise, Gene Hackman. Tom Cruise gets chased by Wilford Brimley.
Of course he does.
Yes. Number 2, and this is why I was thinking that, number 2 was The Fugitive. Okay. And yeah, so that's where I was going with The Fugitive. So awesome movie, one of my favorites. And then number 1 was this. This movie was number 1, not like in the box office, but this movie was, as far as like overall money, this movie was the number 1 movie for the next 4 years, as far as what it earned at the box office.
My money went to probably around this time, Baby's Day Out.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good then. And I think that was a John Hughes movie. I think Baby's Day Out was a John Hughes movie. But this was number 1. It held the like box office record until Titanic. And then Titanic got beat by Avatar.
Well, like I said, science and CGI and everything has come so far since then. But during this time, this was a huge deal to do something like that. And then Titanic, I could see being next because of what they were able to imply. And
well, that movie was massive.
Yes.
And so was Avatar.
Yes.
But the interesting thing about that was, it took James Cameron to beat James Cameron. Like, it took Avatar to take down Titanic.
Didn't James Cameron even say, James Cameron did Avatar. Mm-hmm. He even said, like, he waited till graphics and CGI were to a certain point before he would ever even consider making Avatar.
Yeah, he waited till after Lord of the Rings.
So I feel like this was the beginning of that.
Yeah. But the cool thing was this one passed E.T. So E.T. had held that box office record. Sense. And the cool thing about that was it took, E.T. is also a Spielberg movie. So it took Spielberg to beat Spielberg and then Cameron to beat Cameron. I just thought that was interesting. Two, like if you look at their IMDb's, 2 of the best directors of all time. Now, Steven Spielberg. Like, I want to go on to like some of the cast, the directors, all of that in the movie. So Steven Spielberg, ridiculous career. When you think about all the movies that he's done, like Jaws, Close Encounters, all the Indiana Jones movies. He also did Hook.
Hey-o, Rufio.
Which I loved that one when I was a kid. I mean, it still holds like a special spot. But as far as like being an actual good movie, I don't know that Hook,
You know what's interesting is I always loved it as a kid, and I tried to introduce it to our kids. And at the age that I tried to introduce Jared to it, our son, he was scared of it. And I was like, we may have imprinted too much of like stranger danger and kidnappings into him, that this was generally like scary to him of being abducted by someone.
Well, in all reality, I even thought then, like, it was slow. Like, it took so long for Robin Williams to fly in that movie.
Yeah.
That it was just too slow for me even then, even though I liked it. He also did, obviously, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, Minority Report, which I love, Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal, which Catch Me If You Can and Terminal.
He loves Tom Hanks.
He does.
Apparently.
Yes. He also did a lot of stuff with Tom Cruise. War of the Worlds, Munich, Lincoln, Bridge of Spies, Ready Player One. Like, he's got, and that's just hitting some of the highlights. He's got another one that just came out a couple of years ago that I still haven't seen, which is supposed to be like a semi-biographical one called The Fabelmans. So that one's high up on my list to watch. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But as far as the cast goes, you had Sam Neill as Alan Grant, which that part almost went to Harrison Ford. And Sam Neill did 3 of these.
I kind of feel like if Harrison Ford had played this part, he would have been like the same character as Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has an Indiana Jones-esque.
I just think that he would be playing the same person, essentially.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And then he did a weird movie that I saw at a friend's house when I was in 8th grade. This is talking about Sam Neill. He did a movie called In the Mouth of Madness, which was like this weird, scary movie. And I just remember had this creepy person on the bicycle, like riding by them at night. And that kept me up for many nights thinking about that movie. And then he did one that we watched a few years ago that I really liked called Hunt for the Wilder People. That was a really good one. And then we have Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler.
I feel like she's way more popular now than she was then.
Yeah. Yeah, she did 3 of these. As far as the stuff I've seen, she did the 2019 Little Women, the remake there. Yeah, it was a good one. And then she's done a ton of movie stuff, ton of TV stuff. She's also not afraid to go elbow deep in Triceratop poop. So
gross.
Yeah, that is one of the grossest scenes in this. And then Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, tied with someone for the record of appearances in Jurassic Park movies. Can you guess who he's tied with?
Like, he's been as many in Jurassic.
Yep. He's been in 4 of them.
Movie, or Jurassic Park World. So there's somebody else who has that many.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can I have a hint? Is the person in this one?
Yep.
Then I'm going to go with the old guy.
The John Hammond?
Yes.
No, he passed away too quick for that. He actually, I think he died before the 3rd one came out. He was in the 2nd one a little bit. John Hammond was. Or Richard Attenborough, the actor's name. So B.D. Wong, the guy that created the dinosaurs.
Okay.
He was in 4 of them. So was Jeff Goldblum.
And they brought him back pretty hardcore in the Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm. But he did, so going back to Goldblum, he did this. He did a few of these, 4 of these. Independence Day. He was really good in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Unit. He was the Grandmaster.
And how can you forget he's the wizard in Wicked?
I mean, I've not seen it. I've heard good things. So
not your cup of tea.
Well, no, I mean, I like musicals. We've talked about that before. I do like musicals, but I don't. I'm just not that interested in that one.
So, growing up, movies were not like our main thing that we did and stuff. So I don't have first memories of certain actors like you do. And I'm going to have to fact check this, but I think you said his name was B.D. Wong.
Yeah.
I think he might have had a part, in the Law and Order shows as a child psychiatrist.
I mean, that wouldn't shock me. He was in, I think, Father of the Bride, maybe?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to fact check that. I think he might have been Father of the Bride. But so we've got Jeff Goldblum, and Jeff Goldblum is like the quintessential cool guy. Like, he's the cool guy in just about every movie.
Let's talk about the fact that he's wearing a leather jacket to go to Costa Rica.
Again, quintessential
He's got to keep that cool guy look.
Yes.
No matter where he's going.
And so then we have Richard Attenborough as John Hammond. I just knew him from these, and it was so funny when we were watching this yesterday. You mentioned he could be a good Santa Claus, and he was the Santa Claus.
And then it hit me after you said
it. Yeah, Miracle on
34th
Street. Yeah. And then
he just has a good laugh.
He does, and he's got a jolly demeanor. And then we've got our guy Samuel
L. Jackson, Chattanooga representing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's got, even more than Spielberg, he's got way too many movies to list.
Because he is never too good for anything. And if it's got a paycheck, he's interested.
He has shown up for a lot of movies where it's like, really?
I did get to see his first ever commercial, P.S.
Oh, did you?
It was for Crystals.
Interesting.
And, Crystal started in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was not like a child actor starting in his 20s or anything like that. He was a little bit older. But it was one of his first commercials, was a Crystal commercial.
I'll have to look that one up. Another fun one to look up. I think it was Steve Carell that was in the McDonald's commercial early on.
You know what? I think I saw that.
And I think there's a Jack Black, this video game called Pitfall. I think there's a Jack Black when he was like a kid.
Good for him that he stuck to that realm the whole time. He knew it was meant for him. He was destined.
Yeah. Then we have Wayne Knight, who will get discussed a ton in this. So Wayne Knight was Dennis The guy that
Seinfeld.
Yes, yeah. He also played Newman. And then we've got B.D. Wong. We mentioned him a second ago. B.D. had top billing in this movie.
What?
Like he was like towards the top, if you see the credits and all that stuff, and barely in the movie. And then we had Joseph Mazzello.
Is that the kid?
That's Tim. Yeah.
The face of it.
I would have had him really high up, like as almost like a number one prospect coming out of this movie. Like this kid's going to have a great career.
Because you didn't see him in much after this, right?
No, I mean there was a movie called Radio Flyer. He was in this, and
was he in that Simon Birch? Yeah,
yes.
He's the older kid in Simon Birch.
Yeah, but I would have thought, like he's right around the same age as Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood, and they were all three child actors.
Yeah, maybe his parents protected him after this.
No, he's still acting. Like he's still in stuff. He was in the Bohemian Rhapsody movie that came out 5-6 years ago. So he was in that. He looks so different now that the first time I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, I didn't even know it was him. But yeah, so I would have definitely had him high up there. The girl's Lexi's, her real name was Ariana Richards. She was in Tremors.
Okay.
And she was also in the late 80s Prancer, which I remember going to see that in theaters with a field trip.
But I wouldn't think that she's in much now, right?
No, she's not. No. And then we have the star of the show, Roberta, which was the nickname for the T-Rex. Yeah.
Okay.
So Roberta was the T-Rex, and she appears in this one, and she's in all three of the Jurassic World movies.
Like it's the same. Okay.
Same character.
Okay. I was going to say.
There's no actress.
Well, obviously. But I meant did they use the same animatronic the whole time or something?
Probably not. No. Because
they've come a long way.
Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of Roberta, I should use her by her right name. I feel like the quote unquote bad guy in this movie is, Roberta the T-Rex. We're supposed to be so fearful of T-Rex. And yes, they were fearful of the raptors in this movie. But when you hit the Jurassic worlds, it's way more about the raptors and being fearful of the raptors and what they can do instead of the T-Rex. The T-Rex is more like, hey, let's save the day.
Well, because the raptors use their brain to hunt more so than the T-Rex did. Yeah. No, that was one of the cool things about it. So some other things about the movie, like that kind of covers, the cast and director, all that stuff. I do want to talk later about John Williams, the guy that was the composer of the soundtrack of this.
Okay.
But the IMDb rating on this movie.
You want me to guess?
Oh, no, I'll tell you. I won't make you guess. It's a
guess.
Okay.
I want to say 8.6.
Close. It was an 8.2.
Oh, I'm so close.
Which puts it at number 138 on the IMDb top 250, which really bothers me because I want to see, and I did not look through the whole
top
list.
50.
I want to know how you can say 137 movies are better than this.
Yeah, but that's people voting, and you got dum-dums voting.
Sure. But I mean, I just need to know how again, I don't expect it to be number one, but I just want to know what 137 movies.
Somebody went in there and hit that Hallmark movie quite a few times.
That would be easy. But another cool thing about this movie, actually in the movie, so, it's the second scene that Dennis is in. And the second scene that Dennis is in, he's sitting at his computer, and he's got 3 computer screens in front of him. And on one of the computer screens, he's actually watching Jaws.
Which is Spielberg's other movie.
Yes, which was Spielberg's big, first really big hit. It was the one that created the summer blockbuster, was Jaws. He also did one before that called Sugarland Express, which had Goldie Hawn, and I'm drawing a blank on the redheaded guy's name. He was the bad guy in Die Hard, not the bad guy, but he was the reporter, annoying guy in Die Hard. And He was also in Ghostbusters, but it was him and Goldie Hawn matched up together. Sugarland Express. It was a fun one to watch.
You know what really says this is early 90s, and I think it's near the end of, when they started putting this in movies and stuff, but Samuel L. Jackson has a cigarette in his hand, the whole movie.
Oh, 100%.
And, it was probably late 90s that they stopped incorporating that and everything. Like
No.
you didn't see people smoking in their places of work any longer after that.
Right.
But this is like probably the end of that era.
Sure. Oh no, actually, this was prime of that era. 'Cause there was tons of smoking in movies back then.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just saying like showing it in workplaces.
Oh yeah. So he also at his desk, he had a picture of Robert Oppenheimer, which they put that in there. That's the guy that created the atomic bomb.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that like the movie Oppenheimer?
Yes. And so the reason they put that there was, and this is really neat, it's the best example of being afraid of what you created yourself.
And he created all the security systems and everything, right?
Well, no, I mean, just in general, just having Oppenheimer show up there, like the thing that they should be afraid of are the dinosaurs that they created. Like they should be afraid of what they just did. And another cool
Somebody
thing,
got really deep with that little
they did.
piece of set display.
And we're here to talk about it. So that way
Okay.
people don't miss it.
They see that
miss these little things.
nugget.
Exactly. So Dennis was also drinking Jolt Cola.
Never heard of it.
Me neither. So it started in the mid 80s.
This is
And it was
a Costa Rican thing.
Yeah. No. But it started in the mid 80s and it was similar to like energy drinks. And it was marketed as like an energy type drink.
Was it a Surge? Because Surge was the energy drink in my day.
I love Surge. Surge and like chili cheese Fritos were my lunch just about every day in high school.
Gross.
That was great. But so it was marketed as like an energy drink. And in 2006, they even made like battery shaped cans for the Jolt Cola. But they went bankrupt in 2009 and they had a couple of comebacks. Yeah, probably. But they had a couple of comebacks and they even tried selling in Dollar General again in like 2017.
Oh wow!
But now they're back. Like they're back again. You can actually find them.
Called a Jolt?
Yeah, it's called Jolt Cola. You can find them on Amazon. Another company bought them. I can't remember the name of the other company. But I just thought that was really interesting. So that was like breaking down Dennis's desk a little bit because I thought that was just, there were so many cool things. I noticed like there's so much stuff on his
I'm
desk.
concerned that you found the bad guy. Like, cool.
Yeah, I don't know about cool, just interesting. So sticking with Dennis for just a second though.
And his Hawaiian shirts.
He had some great Hawaiian shirts. He was rocking those things. But his, when he leaves, he gets killed by the Dilophosaurus. And spoiler alert for a movie that is 32 years old. But he gets killed by the Dilophosaurus, which is the one that
spits at you.
Yes. If you pay attention to that scene, the Dilophosaurus does not walk at all.
What does it do?
All they do is show it
they
like
jump?
moving.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it never shows it like, it shows it moving around the tree. It shows it standing there like going up and down, kind of crouching up and down. And then it shows it's, I don't know what you'd call that, like the
webbed area.
Yes, like around its head. They could not get it to move right on screen. Like when I mean, not that it was a trained animal. I'm saying they could not get the puppet or whatever they were using to move, and it didn't look good on screen.
This is probably the ending of Spielberg using animatronics because of the issues that he had with the shark and Jaws, and then having issues with these dinosaurs in particular. Like he's probably like, I'm done with this afterwards.
Well, and I think that you could argue like that scene, like the Dilophosaurus scene, had he not done Jaws and had all the issues that he did with the fake shark on Jaws, then we don't get good stuff like this. Like I never even noticed that the Dilophosaurus did not move. Didn't notice at all. It wasn't until I read it somewhere.
I mean, sure, I wondered how it got in his truck, but
yeah, I mean, but they just show it being there, but we don't think about it because Spielberg was so good at just distracting you and putting it there. And he used the camera, like when it's going up the hill, he used the camera to go up the hill. He didn't use the actual, like we didn't see the Dilophosaurus, where now we would see it. Like now it would show it running up the hill and chasing him. It'd probably been maybe a cooler death, but this accomplished the same thing. It was just as scary. So that was one of the things he did awesome at. Like my favorite example of that in this movie is the water ripple in the cup, when the T-Rex is...
Oh, was it a cup or was it her Jello?
Well, the Jello, she does the Jello shake later on.
The Jello jiggle.
Yes. But no, when they're in the cars, when they're on the tour and it shuts down because Dennis shut down all the power and when they know the T-Rex is walking up, it's because the cup of water
rippling.
Yes. And even when Ian knows that the T-Rex is coming back, like when he's in the car waiting on Ellie and Muldoon, the hunter guy, when he's waiting on them to come back to him after they found him hurt, like he notices in the big footprint of the T-Rex, he sees them, like the water rippling. But another cool thing about this movie, one of the best logos ever for a movie.
Well, yeah, everybody knows what it is.
Yes. And I really couldn't find this anywhere, and I couldn't think of many others, but like the logo was within the movie.
Well, I remember the logo being on the china.
That's what I'm saying. Like the logo in this movie, the logo for the poster that we see as a movie goer is the same logo that it's in the movie.
Yes.
And I know Ghostbusters did that because, like at their headquarters, they had the Ghostbusters sign up above it. And then the other one that did it that I can think of was Avengers. Like they have
the A.
Yeah, they have the A logo on their tower. But I couldn't really think of that many that had the logo within the movie, like a logo of the movie in the movie.
Yeah, but a lot of them aren't like surrounded around a company.
Right. And this one does a lot of merchandising too, which goes to the point of, I didn't notice this, but I noticed he said it quite a few times. I didn't know how many times until I Googled it. When John Hammond says we spared no expense, he says it 5 times.
Oh, he wants people to know. He's also, part of the reason that the attorney's there and that they're even getting a second opinion about stuff is because of his investors need to know that this is a safe investment.
Right.
But, he's like, we've spared no expense. I'll, support your dig for the next 3 years if you come out here. Why does John Hammond need investors?
I'm not sure.
If he's got all this money to.
Right. I'm not sure. Maybe to get the insurance for it or something like that. I think he says it in the trailer when he's talking to Alan and Ellie, like when he comes to see them, like why he needs them there. Or maybe it makes the insurance less expensive or something. I don't know. But the question that brings up to me is he says he spared no expense. If he paid Dennis more, because Dennis had money issues, if he paid Dennis more, would any of this have ever even happened?
Correct, because when Dennis is meeting, when the first time you see Dennis and he's meeting with one of the bad guys and he gets the Barbasol can in the first place, and the waitress brings the ticket, he tells the delivery guy, he's like, come on, don't get cheap on me now.
Yeah.
That was Hammond's mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe Hammond was underpaying his IT department because, again, if he pays him well enough, but again, I don't know. I mean, Dennis may have had
Dennis is just greedy. He has a gambling problem.
He may have been bad with money. So we're not going to throw this on Hammond. And you should never do anything like that if you're Dennis. We're not condoning that. If you're working at a dinosaur park, please don't shut down the park just so you can make some money. And another cool thing I noticed, another Hammond line, he says something about why didn't I build in Orlando, which is really cool because when you think about it, like there's a there's Universal Studios and there are
been to Dinosaur Park.
Yes, and there's Jurassic Park rides. So another cool thing about the movie, the T-Rex sounds. So like the sounds that the T-Rex makes.
How do we know that that's what a T-Rex sounds like?
Well, they actually say, like, from some kind of studies, one thing I was reading is they think it was like a much lower, more crocodile type sound, like a more of a growl sound rather than what we get in the movies. But the movies sound really cool.
Yeah.
So some of the animals that they used koala bears.
I've never heard of koala bear before.
I haven't either. They used the sound of a whale blowing air as part of the T-Rex sound. They used a tiger.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Because that added to like the snarls and the growls and all that stuff. They used an alligator, which provided it said like the grumbling sounds. But the main one, can you guess the main animal?
I don't know. You're bringing out koala bears and whales.
Yeah, I was kind of going in what they use from least to most. So the animal that they used most.
I'm going to say a bear.
Not at all. I would have thought something like that too. A baby elephant. And when you think about how high pitched it is.
Okay, I was going to say, why not the adult elephant?
Yeah.
Why the baby?
I'm guessing it was just a high pitched thing.
Okay.
Like they wanted it to be high pitched. But But this movie, like some movies that were kind of similar before this movie, we talked about earlier, like Tremors, like that was another like creature feature that was really similar to this.
I love that
What?
creature feature.
Yeah. Well, that's what this is. I love creature feature, like Quiet Place and those kind of things. But this one happened right in the middle of it, because you've got Tremors in the early '90s, and then it kind of culminates with, which there had been Godzilla movies before, but there was a Matthew Broderick Godzilla that was really, really bad.
I remember it.
Yeah. But that you can tell they were going for a Jurassic Park type vibe in that Godzilla movie, because they even created little, Godzillas. Like I think it had babies or something like that.
It did.
Yeah.
It was born in a stadium.
Yeah. Yeah. So it started with Tremors, and I love Tremors, and I love the second Tremor. Actually, I saw the second Tremors first and really liked it.
Good thing that Hammond didn't build in Orlando.
That's exactly right.
We would have had a Godzilla situation on our hands.
That's exactly right. But this was based, and I don't know how to say this guy's last name. It's Crichton. Crichton? I think it's Crichton.
Cretan? No, that would be an E in there.
Yeah. But Michael Crichton, he had a ton of books made into movies, like almost like Nicholas.
So is Jurassic Park a book?
Yes. Yeah.
Or is it based on a book?
It was based on a book. Yeah.
Jared would like this book.
Yeah. And he had a ton like Congo and Sphere, and some of the others were books that he had written that were made into movies. And he even directed some of his own movies, like in the 70s.
So he is a real lover of creature feature.
Yes. And then another thing that's really cool about this movie, it has two cool movie cars. It has the Explorer that they ride in.
Yes.
Which had all of the like technology and everything that our normal cars don't have. It had like the little, stuff in the back.
At the time.
Yes. And again, 93. And then the Jeep. The Jeep was just really cool.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And don't they bring the Jeep back in the newer Jurassic Worlds?
Yes. Yeah, because they, in the
boys, the nephews.
Yeah. In the fourth one, which was the first Jurassic World movie, they find one like
at the original building.
Yeah. And so they like jumpstart it and everything, which is really cool. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say something that I found funny. When Ellie and Alan and them come in and they get to see just Jurassic Park for what it is, and they get to come into the main building and things are still being done, and they sit down on this like sit down little ride thing where they get to meet the scientists, and there's the DNA that pops up on the screen that's explaining everything.
Yeah.
Does that not remind you of, and I can't think of what program it was, like that you would use like to write papers? It may have been the original.
Oh, like
word.
Ask Jeeves or something.
Yes,
like
that's
that?
what I was thinking. Ask Jeeves, and it's like a little paper clip that pops up and like shows you how to do everything. That's what came to mind when the DNA pops up on the screen.
I can't remember the paper clip. I remember the Ask Jeeves, which he looked like he was like wearing a tuxedo type guy.
Yeah, there was a paper clip.
I remember the paper guy. I just can't remember the name of it.
I wonder if it was for Word or something.
I don't know. It might have been. But this movie was John Williams composed. We talked about him just very briefly at the top. And he did the soundtrack for this. And we're going to get to his work. But he had done so far he's done around 30 movies with Spielberg. I think he's in his 90s.
Like in his lifetime or before this?
In his lifetime, he's done around 30 movies.
Is he well known at this point?
I would say so, because he had done, at this point, he had done E.T., he had done Jaws, Raiders.
So he popped
Star
out
Wars.
some classics.
He did. He really did.
That you hum to yourself after you watch these movies that are
You do. So now we're going to get to the movie competitions, and we're going to get to his soundtrack stuff in just a few minutes.
Are you going to make me like sing them out? Because I can totally do it.
No.
Okay.
So let's talk about this. All 7. There's been 7 Jurassic Park movies at this point. How would you rank the 7?
Well, just going to say it. Number 4 is my favorite.
Mm-hmm. That's the first Jurassic World.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go with number 1.
Yeah. Okay.
5, 6, 2, 7, 3.
Gotcha. Okay. So the third one's your least
Yes.
favorite. Okay. Mine would be maybe a little similar to yours. This one's my favorite. This one's my favorite of all seven. Number 4, which is the first Jurassic World. That would be my next favorite. And then my third would be actually the second one, which was The Lost World. So that was the one that Jeff Goldblum got to be the main guy in.
Oh, yeah, and his daughter. And...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be my third. My fourth ranked would be the newest one that just came out, the Scarlett Johansson one.
Yes.
I love that. And mainly, like, it wasn't the story on that one. It was all the different dinosaurs that they introduced and some of the weird dinosaurs and even the one that kind of looked like a alien creature.
It's the ones that show where we tried to play God.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was the whole like mutated thing,
yeah,
like,
the mutated dinosaurs that were just too ugly, and it shows like our world today, like, you know, after the newness of it all wears off and like them still dying off, like, but being a part of our world.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of John Hannon's, you know, what he created dying out.
And it started with a candy wrapper.
Yep.
That's what started the whole thing.
Is it?
No, not in this one, but I'm saying in the seventh one.
Okay.
But and then the fifth one would be my next. So 5 would be 5, which was the second of the Jurassic World series. I don't want to get too confusing on this. And then number 6 would be 6, which is easy. And then the 7th one for me would be, which the 6th one was the one with the locusts, when they brought all the original cast back. Like they had Laura Dern back in it, they had Sam Neill back in it, they had Jeff Goldblum, and then they also like they blended the two casts. That's when they had Chris Pratt and
yeah.
So that would be my 6th one, which I was really excited when that one came out and was pretty disappointed with that one. And then my last ranked one would be the 3rd one, which is the one that I saw at the drive-in movies, which was the first one I saw in theaters.
Who'd you take that to?
It doesn't even matter. But which was fun. It was fun. We had a fun time. But the best souvenir from this movie, which I didn't realize until I started talking about this podcast and thinking about this podcast, that one of my least favorite words in the English language is the word souvenir.
I thought it was schmuck.
That is my number one least favorite. But souvenir, I don't know why it just does not roll off the tongue. I was talking to Bradley about that the other day, but souvenir just does not roll. So if you were to take, do you have any off the top of your head that if you could think of
like
souvenirs?
If I were there when I do go to the Jurassic World Park, when they open it up again and I go, what I would take home with me?
No, things that were in this movie.
Okay.
Like things that were in the movie. And cars are too big. Has to be something you could carry home. And
China.
You could put, China's good. Okay. Like the China they use when they're eating their meal, when these, like, yeah, that was good.
Because it has the logo on it and stuff.
Yeah. Anything else?
Oh, his cane.
The cane? I had the cane.
With the amberized mosquito in it.
Yep.
The only way I like mosquitoes, dead in amber.
Well, the only way to get away from mosquitoes is to be around me because I attract all of them.
Yes.
But so we've got the cane, we've got the China. What else? Any others that you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, I know what you're going to say.
What?
You're going to say the Barbasol can.
The Barbasol can's awesome. So the Barbasol can would definitely be at the top.
Unique.
Yes. I think the night vision goggles that Tim is using would be a good one to have. So I think that'd be a fun one to own. And then again, going back to Dennis's desk, because obviously I just want to work.
You're just gonna take Dennis's job.
Yes,
even though you know nothing about IT.
No, trust me, I don't. That's been one of my main issues with this podcast is not knowing anything about IT. But the coffee cup would, like, Dennis has a Jurassic Park coffee cup, which actually looks exactly like the coffee cup that I'm using right now.
That one of your kids got you for Father's Day.
Exactly. So if I was having to pick something that I would use all the time, it would be the coffee cup. If I was picking what would be the coolest thing to have, like, in a room full of movie memorabilia, it would be the Barbasol can. Like, I would just love to have that on a shelf. What about you?
Like, which one would I do for just having
all
around
those.
the house?
Yeah.
I think just in a room full of memorabilia would be the cane because everybody would know what that is.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I guess the Barbasol can, like, people might be like, oh, do you just like that shady?
Yeah, they wouldn't always know what that is unless they're true movie nerds.
But you'd have to have it popped up.
Oh, to show that
Yes.
it's not just normal Barbasol.
Yes, if it was popped up, like Dennis giggles more than anybody I've ever seen giggle during that scene when he's opening up that can and sees that, like how he's going to carry the embryos. But he's also just made a bunch of money.
It was just fancy,
Yeah.
especially for its time, like
Yeah.
a discreet way. And then, people who are addicted to drugs came into the world and learned a thing from the Barbasol can and create all kinds of ways so you can bring. So maybe Jurassic Park opened the leeway for people bringing drugs into the country.
And the pod just went dark.
Yep.
Just went dark. So changing the subject on that one.
Are we going to talk about costumes?
We are actually, you know what? I can skip the next one. I can go to costumes and
Okay,
go back to
great.
it. So let's talk about Halloween costumes.
Ellie, through and through.
So you would be Ellie through and through.
Yes, we had a girl from church dress as Ellie a couple of years ago for trunk or treat, and I knew who she was immediately.
Yeah, I mean it is a very iconic look. Like you could definitely tell like it's Ellie right when you see her. There's a bunch from this movie that would be good, and some of them would be super easy.
My instinct at first would be John Hammond, but if you didn't have the cane, it's too much like Colonel Sanders.
100%. Yeah.
So you have to have the cane.
Yes. And then, I meand you could easily be one of the dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yeah. You could easily be Malcolm, just throwing, like you said, the black leather jacket.
Yeah, and in Costa Rica. Also, this is not a Halloween costume, but I just want to throw out the appreciation for it because it makes me giggle every time we watch it. But the attorney that is in the shorts.
Yeah. With the suit.
That is a suit.
Yeah.
Like, classic.
Yeah. He's trying his best. He may have been auditioning for AC/DC later that afternoon or something. But yeah, he wouldn't be one because I think if somebody walked up in a suit and shorts, I wouldn't know that that's who it was. Alan Grant would be an easy one. Like
with his hat.
Yeah, the denim shirt, the hat, and the red bandana.
If you want, you can be Dennis since you look up to him so much in this movie and wear a Hawaiian shirt and a lab coat.
Well, I don't think anybody would know who I was unless I was carrying a Barbasol can. And
I don't know. They might with maybe.
Wayne Knight has taken care of himself greatly since this movie.
Yes.
And looks really good and looks healthy.
He's lost a lot of weight.
He did not look very healthy in this movie.
No.
So I don't know that I want to dress up like that.
And be like, them know who you are immediately.
Yes. And then, and then you've also got Muldoon, the hunter. Like we've barely talked about him.
Oh, he wears the shorty shorts.
He wears the very short shorts, did his squats before each take.
Even a side Australian hat, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, he would be a good one.
I don't know that you would know that. I think your instinct when you see him is like Crocodile Dundee or I don't know that people would know that that's Muldoon.
Yeah. Nah, probably not. I mean,
cool costume, but you'd have to wear a name tag.
Yeah. I think that
truly think Ellie's the only one that you could wear and people say, hey, that's Jurassic Park.
Yes. Yeah, I'd have to give it to Ellie. Ellie'd be the winner. All right. So going back to, we talked about the logo within the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a store that's in the movie, which it pans around when it's showing John Hammond.
Like a gift shop?
Yeah, they have like a gift shop.
Because I remember that in the Jurassic World.
Yes. And so they have it in this because, they were setting up for an amusement park.
Yes.
Is what they were setting up for. And most of the stuff, from what I understand, that they featured in this movie was actually available at Universal Studios.
Okay.
Where you could buy it. So some of the stuff,
going through the gift stores at Universal.
Yeah. Well, it may not be there now. I mean, that was.
Oh, yeah. Not then. I was too poor as a kid, but as an adult, I've gone and I remember seeing stuff, but I think I would have to have watched it
recently
to get some of those souvenirs
Freshly.
To understand them. Yes.
Yeah.
Fresh on the brain.
Yes. So thankfully it is fresh on my brain. Because I've got a few nominees for item you would most like to buy at the park store.
Okay, I'm ready.
So there was a lunchbox.
Cool.
There were, people different.
These are things that they actually sold in the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Like in the gift shop in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was the lunchbox.
Okay.
There were, and this is like a tomato thing. It was either pajamas or pajamas.
You're in the South, pajamas.
I say pajamas. So lunchbox, pajamas. There were stuffed animals, like dinosaur stuffed animals. There was a thermos.
Cool.
There
They're
was
big back then.
Yes. There was a stamp set and then there was a hat. And there might have been some other things, but to do it differently, if your kid's 5 years old, which one do you think your kid is going to want? Because it was like a kid's gift shop that they were.
If my child is 5, either one of them would have picked that stuffed animal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Jared, loved stuffed animals at that age.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would have wanted
to. The scarier, the better.
Yeah.
To him. He would love snakes and
Yeah.
all of it.
I would have wanted to get like the pajamas.
Yeah,
like
me.
But no, I'm saying for them, like I would have wanted to.
Yes, and they would be like, Dad, no, I want the stuffed animal.
Exactly.
You're too practical, Dad.
I think you're right. I think that if we were taking our kids and they're 5 years old, the one that we're walking out paying probably $29.95 for is the stuffed animal dinosaur.
And you're getting the $40 hat.
Exactly.
That's probably just a baseball cap.
Exactly. So we agree stuffed animals win. Best quote. And
oh my God.
There are quite a few of them. If you think of one, we opened the podcast with one, which was when we decided, when you decided to, I can't remember. We were so preoccupied with whether or not you could, you didn't stop to think if you should.
Oh, and that was a quote from Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. But some of the ones that, are a little easier to use in everyday, clever girl. That's what Muldoon says before the raptor gets him. And Jared, uses that quote quite a bit. It's pretty funny.
I did not know was from this movie. Yeah. I thought he was just being weird.
Yeah.
We've raised a movie nerd.
Yes. And proud of that. Hold on to your butts, which is what Mr. Arnold or Samuel L. Jackson, that's what he says right before he turns on the power. And I think the reason that one sticks out at me every single time is knowing the rest of Samuel L. Jackson's career. I know that
was the most toned down version of what's to come.
Yes. That was probably one of his few lines in a movie that did not need to be edited for TBS.
Yes.
So there's that one. There's, obviously the John Hammond when they first get to the park, or when they first see the dinosaurs. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Of course.
Yeah. And then my personal winner, I'll just go ahead and give it away. When they're talking about how all of the dinosaurs are female and that they won't be able to reproduce, and Ian Malcolm or Jeff Goldblum is saying, like, he's kind of giving an explanation saying, well, how do you know they're all females? And he says, he gives the speech and then he ends it with life finds a way.
Oh, yes.
I love that phrase. I use it all the time. I use it in sports all the time. Life finds a way. So that one for me is the clear winner. But what about you?
I would say welcome to Jurassic Park, because think about how like John Hammond is so proud, and these are like the first outsiders that have come to explore this park before it's open to the public or anybody else, because he's having to like put out all the stops for them to approve it, so that the investors will approve.
Yeah. Well, and I left out the I spared no expense, or we spared no expense.
Yes, because obviously you said it so many times.
Yes. And that was obviously a good one, but I just thought these others were more fun. So most annoying character. Any of them that you can think of off the top of your head?
I'm going to say the kids.
So the kids got on your nerves?
Yes.
Oh, no, they didn't get on my nerves at all.
Like get with it, stay with people. They don't always stay with people like they're supposed to.
The lawyer ran away from them.
True. And then he, gets stuck in that bathroom stall.
Yeah, I do have him as one of the most annoying characters. Number one, because he left the kids high and dry.
Wearing shorts.
I did have that on there, wearing shorts with his suits. He abandons the kids. And even John Hammond, when they're sitting at the dinner table and they're talking about like, reasons to do this park or not do this park, everyone was against him except for, and I quote John Hammond, the blood-sucking lawyer. Like, that's what he calls him. So nobody liked him.
You know what was interesting to me, too, is like when the lawyer first sees the dinosaurs, and like Ellie and Alan are completely speechless at that point. And it's like, this is the first time the attorney has seen it, too. And he was like, we're going to make a ton of money.
Well, I mean, it does show you, now this is getting like deep on the podcast, but it does show you like out of the heart, or whatever's in the heart comes out the mouth. Like whatever we are thinking about, whatever we're focused on.
Right, but you would have thought he had seen all this at this point and know what he was dealing with. And
Yeah. No, I mean, no, he didn't because
So that truly tells you nobody saw it at this point.
right. No, just the scientist, just Hammond. That was it. So like that was to him, he just saw dollar signs where they saw, oh my goodness. I mean, like I would hope that I would be in the park of like, oh wow, those are dinosaurs, rather than oh wow, we can make a ton of money. So like does say a lot about his character right then.
All people.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of reasons why he could be the most annoying character. Also the kid at the beginning when they're at the
I used to
dig.
see him and stuff, and he's always played an annoying kid.
Yes. He's unfortunately for him, I
He
hope
must have just had the face.
the look. Maybe I'm not gonna say he had the face. Maybe he could just give the look.
He was perfect.
I'm trying to be nice towards the guy. But yes, I mean he's the one that says the raptor is just a big turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid, super annoying. I think when Dennis is obviously an annoying character or a frustrating character.
Well, especially when he does all of his like cackling and laughing when he's so excited about getting paid at the beginning and stuff, like how he acts.
Definitely. I had Malcolm on my list as far as annoying characters, mainly because from a guy's point of view, he was constantly hitting on Ellie. Right.
Is that Jeff Goldblum?
Yes.
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 And
Yeah.
he condescends everyone.
Yes. So
I'm smarter than you.
I had him.
Also,
on the
why
list.
was he there?
I can't remember.
Like, I know they brought Ellie
the
and
lawyer brought him.
yeah,
Hammond says that in the
I
help.
brought scientists. You brought a rock star.
Yeah.
But he's from the psychology field, so why is he there?
I don't know. That might be worth a Google. Just to see like why was he invited? What was the purpose? How did his job description or how did his
Make his opinion matter?
Yeah. I don't know. But so we've got any other people that you would like to nominate because you threw in the kids.
Yeah.
Any other
Kids are always annoying in these situations. Just listen to what I say.
Yeah. So any other people that you would like to nominate as annoying characters?
No.
Okay. I kind of have to go with the lawyer because he abandoned the kids.
Yeah.
100%. Like if he hadn't have left the kids, I might have gone with
like
Malcolm.
he deserved that toilet death.
I don't feel like anybody deserves a toilet death, but he earned it.
He put himself in that situation.
He put himself there. And also, like every time I watch it, it frustrates me at Malcolm and it felt like he just wanted to be the hero, which he got to be in the second one. I was like, man, just wait on your movie. Your movie's coming. But when Grant gets out during the T-Rex scene, when the T-Rex attacks, or the main T-Rex scene. So when Grant gets out, he throws the flare. The T-Rex is running the other way. And then Malcolm all of a sudden gets out and lights up his own flare.
Ruins it.
It did. It's like, man, I mean, the T-Rex was already headed out of the way. Things were accomplished. Kids were fine. And then you had to go and get yourself hurt. And he's actually the reason why the lawyer got killed. Because he ran over there towards the lawyer. And if anything, if he had just stayed where he was at, things would have been fine. Granted, we all mess up. We all make mistakes, but that was Ian's. So, favorite action sequence in the movie. So I'll go over a few, and then we can talk about them a little bit. For me, the T-Rex breakout, like the way it starts with the goat leg landing on top of the car, the the water ripple like we talked about earlier, and again,
well, and as you discussed, he did so much with so little, like doing that ripple. And he does it too with her face.
Yeah.
The girl's face.
Lexi. Yeah.
With her face, like even if you don't see it, you see the terror. You have the terror based on just those acting skills or some small event.
Right.
Is producing that fear in you.
Yeah. Well, and then like again, take yourself back to 93, again, 32 years ago, and that T-Rex comes out. That was some of the best CGI we had ever seen at that point. And that was some of the best graphics we'd ever seen in a movie. And so seeing it that way, I was like, I remember seeing it as a kid and thinking, oh, wow, how can they make anything better than this?
The kitchen scene was always terrifying to me.
I've got that one on the list. So the kitchen scene when the raptors are chasing the kids is a great scene. Obviously the finale when they're in there and the raptors are getting them, then the T-Rex actually ends up taking out the raptors for them. So that scene, and then I had Dennis with the Dilophosaurus.
Of course.
I love that one. So any others that
you cheered for that one?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was a part of you that did. I mean, that was a common thing in movies back then was, the dinosaurs were not really the bad guy in this. The dinosaurs were just created.
They were just doing what God intended for them to do.
Exactly. And so, it was just a dinosaur being a dinosaur. The problem was dinosaurs don't belong. And so like that was the interesting thing about it was like the dinosaurs were not the bad guys. They were unleashed by the bad guys, if that
There
makes
was a
sense.
weapon.
Yes. But so out of those 4 scenes, or if there's any others you can think of, what was your favorite action sequence?
Well, I'm gonna stick with my kitchen scene because that always freaked me out as a kid of like having to hold your breath and hope they don't hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the part too when Lexi does the whole like
The reflection.
yes, and she's acting like she's pulling it down, like that was great. But I 1000% go with the T-Rex breakout. Like I love that scene. If I was walking by right now, even though I just watched the movie last night, if I was walking by right now and that scene was on, I would not walk away from the TV until that scene was done. Like I love that scene. It would take me a long time to put this together, way more time than we have right now. But it might go down as one of like my favorite scenes of any movie of all time.
Oh,
Yeah, it's way up there. It might make my Mount Rushmore, which we'll get to in a second. Mount Rushmores. So best death or worst. Like I don't want to glorify it here.
I think toilet death died. Like the toilet death was the worst death.
Yeah. So we've got the toilet guy. We've got the guy at the beginning. Remember the guy at the beginning at the Raptors?
You were even asking, like, Muldoon is, like, holding him, trying to pull him out. Why isn't the dinosaur coming out?
That scene still does not make 100% sense to me.
Ooh. Are you talking about that guy's death, or are you talking about the cow's death?
Well, there's the cow's death. When
the
they
cow's
dropped it down.
death was pretty hardcore.
The cow's death was hardcore. And they just fed it. Dennis, obviously. We've talked about Dennis a lot on this. And then we don't see it, but we know that Samuel L. Jackson gets killed. Mr. Arnold gets killed because when Ellie's going to the control room, his arm just falls on her. She's like, "Oh, Mr. Arnold," and then it's just his arm. So he obviously had some kind of cool death we didn't see. And then Muldoon, the hunter, when the Raptors take him down, and that's when he says his clever girl line. So what would be
correct?
Again, we're going to call it worst/best death.
I'm going to go with the toilet death.
No. Yeah, I've got to go with my guy Muldoon on this one because it really shows us for the first time and sets up for future movies how cunning that the Raptors are.
Because he talks about it so much.
Yes,
that they had figured out where you were going to feed him from, and the scratches are from where they've tried to get out, and they never go the place more than once.
Exactly. And one of the cool things about that too, I think that I need to be fact checked on this, but I think I read you have Jurassic Park and then you have like comic books and all this stuff based. I think in some versions Muldoon lives through that because they don't actually show him die in this movie, but in some versions of the story, like whether it's in the comic books or the books or something, that Muldoon lives through that raptor attack. But so I just thought that one though gets my favorite mainly because of the raptor itself.
And it made me think of this when you talked about Ellie going to the control room and Samuel L. Jackson character being dead, putting his shoulder on her. We think that movies today are very girl power. Let's use that word.
Some of them are.
Try to pull the whole very girl power situation.
Or at least they try to do moments. Yeah.
Yes, but we're talking 1993, and John Hammond feels that Ellie can't go to this control room by herself, and that she can't do this, and she even calls him out for it.
Yes, no, I love that, and I love that she called him out.
And it was well before we, were pushing certain agendas.
Right. And it was a great scene because I don't know. I mean, I would say let's say he's in his early 60s and he's using a cane, and he thinks that he should do it instead of her.
Maybe he was a gentleman.
Possibly.
But I would just like to point out, also, I thought about this in the Kane situation. When he goes to Alan and Ellie at the very beginning and he's trying to talk them into this, he is so excited and he pops the champagne and stuff. And then he proceeds to hop on the counter, use both back hands and hop on the counter so that he's sitting on it. I'm like, for a dude who uses a cane, you're very agile.
Yeah, he was he was doing his Pilates. He was doing his yoga. He was staying in shape. He had to be Santa Claus.
Yes.
He had to show up every 12 months to take care of that business. But so I think we disagree on that one. You're going with the lawyer. I can't remember his name now. I'm going with Muldoon as far as, worst/best death. So now let's talk about just a couple more competitions here. Let's talk about the coolest Spielberg movie poster. So there's a lot of cool posters that he has.
You got the E.T. with the fingers.
Yes. Well, the E.T. with the moon in the background,
Yeah,
the bicycle.
the boy
Yeah. Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is a great Indiana Jones. But I narrowed it down to 4. You've got Jaws, where the girl is swimming across the top.
Isn't
and the
she
shark.
naked?
I think if you zoom in, she might be. I'm not going to zoom in.
Okay, then I'm going to rule it out.
Yeah. So you've got Jaws, where she's swimming across the top. The shark is going to get her. And then you've got this. And this is, like the movie
I just
posters.
ruled out Jaws.
Okay.
But I think most famous would be the Jurassic Park because
just your favorite. Just your favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with either the Jurassic Park or the ET one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the ET one, his company, Amblin Entertainment.
Yeah.
They use the
They
ET.
use that as their logo.
Yes, like the boy with the moon in the background, with ET in the basket. But yeah, I have.
Was ET before or after Jaws?
Oh, after.
Okay.
ET was 82.
Okay.
Jaws was 75.
Okay.
This year's the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
How exciting. Are you going to go, are they going to do a theater thing?
They already did a theater thing. I talked to somebody.
Missed it?
I talked to somebody that went, and they said it was incredible. It was like seeing it for the first time.
Bummer for you.
Because they went to see it in IMAX.
Oh.
And they said it was just he was telling me that seeing it in IMAX was just incredible.
That would freak me out.
I wish I would have gone. I didn't even think about that. I think that they're doing a Back to the Future re-release.
You'll have to go see that.
I kind of have to.
We'll have to look that up.
And that's something when you talk about Spielberg, that's one of those things. We just talked about the movies he directed, and we even left out a bunch of movies that he directed. But he had his hand on everything that is still culturally
How old
relevant.
Is he?
I would guess he's in his mid-70s. Would be my guess. Probably mid to late 70s at this point. But he was part of Back to the Future. I think he was one of the producers. He didn't direct it, but you see, his hand was there.
Was it part of the Ambien Productions?
Amblin.
Amblin.
I don't think so. I don't even know if that was around then. But he helped produce it. He was involved in Gremlins. He was involved in The Goonies. He was involved, all these movies that are still very culturally
that we
relevant.
Can thank him for today.
Yes. He brought a ton of the stuff that we still have today. Not just things he directed.
He was the investor.
He was, yeah, it was huge. And yes, we could easily do an hour-long podcast just about Spielberg.
Yes.
But we're going to round it out. This is where we're closing it out with, we're going to talk about John Williams. We've referenced him a couple of times.
Oh, the composer.
The composer. And I love doing Mount Rushmores.
I'm ready to sing them.
So we do the top 4. You can't sing them because I don't want to get sued. But Mount Rushmore is somebody's top 4. If you were taking their career and you were going to chisel John Williams albums or soundtracks or whatever into his Mount Rushmore wall.
His most famous ones.
Your favorites.
Okay.
Your favorites. So
are you going to tell me what he composed and I get to pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Here are the ones for me that hit the cutting room floor, meaning they did not make my list of top 4.
Oh, okay.
But they were close. There was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There was Superman. He did this, the Christopher Reeves.
Wait, is Close Encounters with the Third Kind the quote unquote alien movies where it's really just kids in alien costumes?
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Yeah, the music. You have to go back and just listen to the music.
I don't care.
The movie itself. I don't think that they intended for us to be able to see the kids that closely.
I don't No.
Like when they made that movie.
I don't even like the music. That was one of the most boring movies you made us watch.
Well, I think that came out in '78, and what I'm saying is when those aliens walked out of the UFO, I don't think that they ever intended on us to be able to see them that closely, like remastered. And so, like, they probably thought, "Oh man, we've got it. We just got to put some little kids with alien hats on." And now it turns out it's terrible. Like when you watch, it actually ruins the last 30
Your
minutes.
children were laughing.
Yeah. Well, the last 20 minutes of that was on par for me with the last 20 minutes of the show She-Hulk when she crawls out of the like icon screen, when she's crawling like out of the Disney Plus options menu. I remember Jared watching that and being like, "Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this?" Like it was just that bad.
What are your other ones?
But I'm just talking about the music. So the music from Close Encounters, incredible. He did the Superman music, like the original Christopher Reeves music. He did the Indiana Jones theme song, which was a really good one.
And that was the cutting floor for you?
These are on the cutting room floor. Yeah. Home Alone. He did the Home Alone theme song. And he did. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change up my cutting room floor. I have to. I'm putting Home Alone in my Mount Rushmore.
I was about to say, like, when you ask me, that's gonna be up there for me.
So I'll tell you now what got removed from my Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Was Star Wars. He did the Star Wars music.
What? Like you're taking that off?
Yeah, you'll see why.
Okay.
Like I kind of have to take it off. So I'm putting Home Alone up, taking Star Wars down, and then he also did, and this is where you will get super excited. He also did the Harry Potter music.
Well, put it at the top.
So my 4 would be Jaws, because that music is incredible. Like the music is what created the shark. The music in the camera was the shark. So
and people who have never even seen Jaws still use that movie when referring to a shark.
Yes. So Jaws, Home Alone, the E.T. music, which is incredible. And then this, Jurassic Park. So those are my 4 on his Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Would be Jaws, Home Alone, E.T., and this.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Harry Potter.
Of course.
I'm gonna go Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the cutting room floor was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's leaving out superstars.
I'm gonna stick with Home Alone with you. And I'm gonna do Star Wars.
Okay. So Harry Potter, Home Alone, Star Wars,
and Indiana Jones.
And Indiana Jones. So you're leaving Jaws out.
Yeah.
You're leaving this out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, any closing thoughts about Jurassic Park? Anything that
can't wait to buy my tickets.
Yeah.
To go to the next park.
Yeah. No, we'll never go.
Yes, we will.
At least me and the kids will stay home because I'm not going to let you take our kids to be
nice
about
knowing
Raptor. So one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast is it's a clean podcast that you can listen to with your family. The name of it's The Movie Pick. If you're listening to it, you can email me any ideas. This is a classic email address. You will love it. It's themoviepick@aol.com.
Yes, it's still around.
They still have email addresses. I did not know that until a few weeks ago. But again, you can email me at themoviepick@aol.com with any suggestions, any movies you want me to do, those kind of things. And most of the movies we do will be able to be used on a platform called VidAngel, which means you can edit out words.
Or graphic scenes.
Or graphic scenes or different things that maybe you don't want to see or that you don't want your kids to see. Because we do take this just full transparency from a Christian perspective. And also, even if you don't have Christian values, some of these things maybe you just don't want your kids to hear. Or see, or maybe you don't yourself. But again, the movie pick at AOL.com. Tia, thank you for being on.
As always, you're welcome.
Yep. And this is Dave. Thank you.